What's happening? Hey, we're back. We are talking about Eric Hutchinson and the Believer's record, Modern Happiness. I gotta adjust this a little. We're at the end, right? All right, hey, check this out. Last song that I'm going to talk about, maybe, for the foreseeable future, is $1 Million on a Queen Hotel Bed. We were doing the record, and it was the last day, and I didn't bring this bass, which I don't know why, but Eric was like, Eric got into like, I was using all these basses because we were doing the record in Minneapolis, and Eric was like, any basses that you haven't used yet? I'm like, well, yeah. And he was like, well, what, bring one in. And so I'm so glad I did. This is a 1974 Gibson Les Paul signature bass. Now I'm gonna get nerdy for a minute here. Sometimes I sort of brush this stuff aside, but no, not today. You're getting the full nerd out. And look, if you don't like it, watch another video. That's mean. Or fast forward, and I'll play it for you for a minute. But I'm gonna chat about it for a second. Come along for the ride, would you? Check it out. Here's the weird thing about this instrument. They made a guitar too. They didn't make very many, like 700 and some, which is like, oh, so delightful for me. Up here, what's this look like? It's a 335. It's a 335 horn. But down here, holy guacamole, what is this? This is a Les Paul horn. This blew my mind when someone told me that the Les Paul signature, guitar and bass, it's half 335, half Les Paul. That's insane. It has one pickup that says Gibson on it in like cool like raised letters. Look at that. Oh, jeez. How cool is that? Now you may have seen, you're like, oh, I've seen that before a million times. Well, you've probably seen the Epiphone Jack Cassidy, which is also a fantastic instrument, but this is the original gangster. Check out the back. Oh, Walnut Delight. Walnut Delight! Pretty cool. Okay, gold top, right? A bunch of checking in it because I live in Minnesota and it like maybe was in the car for a little too long. Oh, there we go. Yeah, pretty fun. And this is a huge bass. Like the scale length I think is even like a ½ inch. I think it's like 34 and a half. A normal bass is 34, and a lot of hollow body basses are short scale 30, but this Gibson was like, nope. We're making it huge, and this is 34 and a half. And so what happens is you have this sort of cool, like, you still have this hollow body air to the notes, but since it's such a long scale, even with flat wounds, the notes tend to sustain a little longer. Which is pretty fun. So for playing anything that's sort of melodic, it's really like a rewarding instrument to play up high because things last. And I'm not sure if you saw the rant when I was talking about For the First Time, and I had the 66 Guild Starfire, the short scale and plunky, and I said like, sometimes it is about the gear, right? Where like a sound will encourage you to play in a certain way. So you know Jack White from the White Stripes, he has this thing like, I want the guitar to fight me, I want it to be a fight. I don't feel that way. I hate fighting a guitar. If a guitar doesn't want to do something, I want consent. I'm sorry. I want consent from the guitar. I want the guitar to be like, yes, that is appropriate. That is an appropriate thing to ask of me and an appropriate thing to do with me. I don't know. I feel that way, right? So this instrument does not ask of me to play like super short, plunky notes. It asks of me to play sort of more maybe lyrical phrases. It's just delightful to play up there. And down low, it's like, oh, it has like a P bassy. I just really like this bass. So anyway, I bring this in, right? I bring it in to the session, and we do $1,000,000, and I came up with this line, which is like a melody idea. A lot of times, I'll try to listen to a song. If I haven't written a bass line for it yet, or I need to write a line, I'll listen, and then I'll sing something, or a melody might pop into my head. I'm never thinking bass line. I'm never like, what's the like a cool bass line. Never. I'm always thinking, what would be a cool melody, and then hopefully down low it will translate to a bass line. So the intro of the tune happens. Eric is playing acoustic guitar and doing like a ooh line in falsetto, and I hummed this melody. Or maybe it was something like that. And then I just brought it down because that sounds a little like bass nerdy and geeky. It reminds me of my friend, I have a friend, Zach Miller, who like sometimes I'll play an idea on bass and he'll go, I like the melody, should that be on bass? I love that so much. He's so sweet to me. Like he's basically saying like, cool idea, give it to someone else that plays melodies. Don't play it on the bass. But guess what? Guess what? Zach Miller wasn't at this session, right? So I played a melody. And really, it's not much of a melody. It's just a little phrase, and it ended up kind of informing the way I played the whole tune. And what I want to say is, again here, if I didn't have this instrument there, I wanted to use a hollow body, and I have a few, and so maybe I would have used some other like plunky hollow body, and I never in a million years would have tried to play that phrase, because on most hollow bodies, it's like a shorter sustain, and it would have been. And that wouldn't, to me, I mean, it's fine, but it wouldn't have had the impact, and I would have absolutely passed it by. Not saying that what I did is going to change the world. It's not going to change music. It's not going to change the way you think about bass lines, maybe. I don't know. But what I'm saying is the right instrument, or it doesn't even have to be like the right instrument, just an instrument, a different thing can change your way of thinking. It can change the way you approach writing a line. It can change the way you approach creativity. And that's something that we all want, right? We don't want to fall into ruts. We don't want to fall into the same old thing of like, oh man, I've done this a million times and it always works, or I've done this a million times and it's not working. Well, you know what? Yes, get your skills together. Yes, learn your scales. Yes, do all that. But then pick up a different instrument. Hum a melody. See what comes out. You might be so surprised.